The international break is finally over, and the world champion are back in action this Saturday as we take on Brentford in a West London derby. In this video, we are going to break down Cole Palmer's potential return and how Enzo Maresca will set us up to keep our unbeaten run going. But before we dive into all that, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. But if you have been following me for a while, you know the drills. You're on the road to 10k subscribers. So like the video and subscribe. Let's dive into it. So here we go again, my friends. Another London derby. Our fourth in a row to kick off this season. This time is a short trip across West London. So we face Brentford away at the Community Stadium in game week 4. Let's be real. This game is more than just another fixture. It's bragging rights. It's momentum, and for us, it's about keeping that early season fire alive. Because let's be honest, Chelsea has been flying, unbeaten in our first 3 games, 2 wins and 1 draw, 7 points on the board, and sitting second in the table. That's the kind of start we have been craving for years. Enzo Maresca idea are starting to click, and you can see it in the way we are moving the ball, controlling the games, and actually looking like a team with a plan. The energy, the chemistry, the resilience, it feels different. But don't get it twisted, Brentford away is never easy. They might not have Thomas Frank anymore, but with Keith Andrew now in charge. But Brentford at Stadium is always a scrap. They are awkward, they are physical, they press hard, and they will make us work for every single inch. They have had a shaky start, a win at home against Aston Villa, but 2 defeats on the road against Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. So they will be desperate to show their fans a reaction, especially against us. And you know how these derbies go. Form can go out of the window. Brentford will treat us like a cup final, so we have to match the intensity from the first whistle. For us, this game is about 2 things: momentum and mentality. If we win, that's 10 points from 12. Unbeaten, still right up there in the title conversation. And sending a message that this Chelsea side under Enzo Maresca is not messing about. And we already handled pressures of London derbies, back to back to back. And winning this one could be a perfect statement that we are not just here to participate this season, we are here to compete. And I'll be honest, these are the games that will show how far we have come. Beating Brentford away, but you are not at your best. That's what title challenging sides do. We can't afford to drop silly points because margin at the top are tiny. Now let's talk about head-to-head, because this is one of those rivalries that is way more competitive than people think. Since Brentford came up in the Premier League back in 2021, they have faced us 11 times in our competition. And while we do hold the edge overall, 5 wins for Chelsea, 3 wins for Brentford, and 4 draws. The reality is Brentford has caused us serious problems in recent years. Look at the last 5 Premier League meetings. Earlier this year, in April 2025, it finished 0-0 draw at their ground. Frustrating game where we couldn't find the extra bits of quality. Before that, in December 2024, we did manage to edge them 2-1 at Stamford Bridge, thanks to that extra sharpness in attack. And in March 2024, it was another 2-2 draw. A proper scrap where both sides went at it. But here's the part that hurts. Go back to 2023. Brentford actually came to Stamford Bridge twice, beat us 2-0 both times. Twice. That shows exactly why we can't underestimate them. They know how to frustrate us, and they have proven that on the biggest stage. So while the overall record leans in our favor, the truth is that this fixture has been tight, and recent history proves Brentford are no pushover. If you are going there thinking 3 points guaranteed, we will get punished. But at the same time, this is the kind of challenge we need if we are serious about competing at the top this season. For us, it's about flipping the narrative. We have already beaten them once under Enzo Maresca, and now it's time to go away from home, in their backyard, and put down a marker. If we really want to talk about title push, these are the type of game that matters. But let's get into team news, because this one is important. Starting with Brentford, Keith Andrew doesn't have too many new problems to deal with. No fresh suspension, but they are still without few key men. Vitaly Janet is recovering from heel injury. He's back in training, but not match ready yet. Midfielder Yosom Kosonok and Ethan Pinnock has finally resumed full training, so they could play some parts. And then there's the interesting one, Dango Wataru, their summer signing from Cote d'Ivoire. Andrew was bigging him up this week, calling him a shred bit of business and talking about his serious pace. So you can bet Brentford will be tempted to unleash him at some point, especially against us on the break. But now let's move over to us, because we are still not at full strength, and that's the frustrating part, because our squad is stacked, but the injuries just keep piling. Leon Delap is a big miss. He's out for around 10 weeks, which means Maresca has to lean even heavier on Joao Pedro up front. Dario Esugo is also ruled out long term, so that midfield depth take a hit. The good news though, Kopama is edging closer. He has been in recovery, and there are positive signs that he could be back sooner than later. Maybe not ready to start this weekend, but his presence changes everything when he's fit. On top of that, both Ben Wadishio and Romeo Lavia were spotted in training this week. That massive because Ben Wadishio gives us a left-footed balance in defense, and Romeo Lavia in midfield can help take off the load from Caicedo and Enzo. Even if they are not ready for full 90 minutes yet, just having them in the squad gives Maresca more flexibility. So yeah, mixed bag for us. We still have absentees, but slowly, the squad is getting healthier. And the key for us is simple. Whoever steps in has to maintain the same energy, because this start of the season have shown we have got the depth and the quality to compete. Alright my friends, let's get tactical, because this game is going to be a proper battle of stars. Both teams are likely to set up in a similar shape, either a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-3, but the emphasis is completely different. For us under Enzo Maresca, it's all about pressing hard, controlling possession, suffocating team in midfield. The heartbeat of this Chelsea side is that double pivot of Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Those two are the ones who set the tempo. If they dominate, we dominate. They'll be looking to recycle possession, break Brentford lines, but what makes us dangerous is how fluid our attack is. Joao Pedro drops between the line, Estovar drifts inside onto his left foot, and Neto stretches the pitch out wide. That constant movement forces Brentford into uncomfortable position. Add to the fact that Malo Gusto and Marco Cucurella will push high to provide overlaps and width. And suddenly you have got a Chelsea side attacking with 5, sometimes even 6 players. And that's where we overwhelm them. Now Brentford under Keith Ando, we approach this game completely differently. They are not going to try and match us toe-to-toe in midfield, because they know they will lose that battle. Instead, they'll probably sit a bit deeper, stay compact, and look to hit us on the counter. The danger comes from wide areas. Luis Potter on the other flank, and possibly Dongo Wataru or Mikel Damsgaard on the other. So for us, the key is balance. We have got Marco Cucurella and Gusto to come forward, but we can't leave ourselves exposed. Caicedo is going to have a huge role, sweeping up transition and covering those wide channels, while Enzo Fernandez needs to dictate the tempo so we don't get drawn into frenetic end-to-end game that suits Brentford. In midfield, Brentford will lean on Jordan Henderson and Yokun Yamalok to keep their shape and try to disrupt us. But let's be honest, if our pivot is on a song, they are not lasting 90 minutes chasing shadows. The more we keep the ball, the more frustrated Brentford we get, and that's when the gap starts opening. But now let's talk about danger men, because Brentford have players who can cause us problem if we are not switched on. First up is their new signing, Dango Wataru. We have seen him at Bournemouth before, so it's no surprise he has made an instant impact since moving to Brentford. He really scored a goal against Aston Villa, dropped a 7.6 match rating, and when you look at his heat map from that game, he's literally everywhere. Direct runs, cutting inside, pressing high. He's a real life wire, and that pace and energy means he's going to test our backline, especially on transition. But here's the thing, we have got Marco Cucurella in great form, and if there is one player in our squad who can handle someone with Wataru intensity, it's him. Still, we can't give him too much space because he only needs one opening to make something happen. The second guy we should keep an eye on is Igor Thiago. Now this guy has quietly started making a name for himself since joining Brentford in the summer. 2 Premier League goals already, one against Forest on the opening day and another against Sunderland last time out, where he picked up a 7.8 rating. Add that to a Carabao Cup goal against Brentford, and you can see why Brentford fans are already excited. They have lost big names like Mbeumo and Wesa, but Igor Thiago looks ready to step into that role. He's physical, strong in the box, and always alive in penalty area. Our centre backs are going to have their hands full dealing with him, especially on crosses and set piece. And finally, we can't forget about Mikel Damsgaard. We know his qualities. He's not just about goals, he's about creativity. He loves drifting into half spaces, picking up the ball between the line, and threading those dangerous passes. Against Aston Villa, he dropped a 7.5 rating, showing how influential he can be when he's on his game. Even though he had a quieter performance against Sunderland, a 6.4 rating, you can't switch off around it, because he only needs one clever pass to split the defense. So yeah, Wataru with the pace, Thiago with the presence in the box, Damsgaard with the creativity. That's Brentford main threats. But here's the difference, we have faced players like this before, and if we stick to our structure, and if our fullbacks stay disciplined and our midfield protect the backline, we can nullify them. And once we take that sting out of Brentford game, we have got more than enough quality on the other end of the pitch to punish them. So here's my predicted 11 on the screen right now. Let's break it down player by player. Starting with the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. No question here, he starts, he's our number one. This isn't the type of game where you experiment. We need security, distribution, experience, and Sanchez gives us that. And at the right wing, Ismail Augusto. As much as we all love regimes, he has just had a back-to-back start for England during the international break. And you don't just overload him this early in the season. So for me, Gusto comes back. And he has been quality whenever he played. Pace, energy, overlaps, and he will have a big role keeping Brentford wide men quiet. And in the left back, we'll be going with one of the best in the world, Marco Cucurella. We saw him during the international break. Again, proving exactly why he's at that level. His intensity, his reading of the game, and his willingness to overlap non-stop has been massive for us. And with Brentford looking to unleash Dango Ouattara, Cucurella's duel could define the game. And my two centre-back, I'll be going with Tosin Adrabayo and Trevor Chalobah. These two are solid against Fulham before the break, and you don't change a winning partnership. They complement each other well. Tosin brings that calmness and area presence. Chalobah brings recovery pace and aggression. And against someone like Igatiago, we are going to need both. And in my midfield pivot, this one picks itself. I'll be going with Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Neither of them are heavily used in the international break, so they are fresh. Caicedo only played 50 minutes for Ecuador against Argentina, and Enzo Fernandez sat out, so both are ready to go. These two are the engine room. They control the game, they recycle possession, they set the tone. If they dominate, we dominate. And at the right wing is Pedro Neto. At this point, if Neto is fit, he starts. Simple as that. His pace, his dribbling, his ability to carry the ball 20 or 30 yards up the pitch is electric for us. He gives us that direct threat from the right hand side that stretches defense and opens up spaces for anyone else. And on the left wing, this might be a little bold. I'll be going with Alejandro Garnacho. He has been training with Maresca all through the international break, and that kind of extra preparation matters. Garnacho's directness and unpredictability can unsettle Brentford defense, and this might just be the perfect game to unleash him from the start. And in the number 10 role is Cole Palmer. He was spotted in training during the break, and if he's fit, he starts. There's no question about it. Palmer is our creative hub, the one who makes everything tick in the final third. His vision, his ball control, his ability to pick up a pass. And whenever Palmer plays, we look so much dangerous. And up top, it's obvious at this point, Joao Pedro. With Leon Delap injured, this one is obvious. Joao Pedro leads the line. He already shown he can drop deep, link play, and still be a goal threat. Against Brentford, a physical backline, his movement is going to be key, dragging the defense out and creating gap for our wingers and Palmer to exploit. So that's the 11 I'm going with. Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Tosin, Chalobah and Cucurella at the back, Caicedo and Enzo in midfield, Neto, Palmer, Garnacho across the three, and Pedro up top. This lineup gives us balance, creativity, and enough firepower to really hurt Brentford. So yeah, my friends, this is a massive game, a chance to keep our unbeaten run alive. Keep the confidence high and keep building under Maresca. It's a West London derby, and we know what's at stake. Let's go out there and get the job done, and remind everyone we are Chelsea. With that said, that's the video, my friend. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You go be.